Ladies and gentlemen, introduced, my name is Keson Vionelly from Universal University. On this occasion, I will discuss about allocate resource towards adapting to climate change rather than preventing climate change. Nah, recently, climate change has become a fairly complex subject in various sectors, especially agriculture. Climate change is the impact of global warming events. These events occurs due to the increasing concentration of carbon dioxide gas and other gases in the atmosphere, which cause the greenhouse gas effect. In addition, climate change is a change in climate components, namely temperature, rainfall, humidity, evaporation, wind direction, and speed and clouds. This can have an impact on the agricultural systems, where food crops are relatively vulnerable to climate change in conditions of lack and excess of water. Excessive or use of chemical, fertilizer, and pesticides is one of the factors causing environmental degradation. So, that there must be action that can be taken against climate change, including mitigation and adaptation to climate change. Adaptation is an effort to overcome the impacts of climate change so as to reduce the negative impacts and take the positive benefits. Meanwhile, mitigation measures are efforts to overcome the cause of climate change through activities that can reduce emissions or increase the absorption of greenhouse gas. Actions that can be taken to reduce emissions in the agricultural sector, especially in seasonal food crops, are by applying the SRI. Also, we can call it system of rice intensification, rice cultivation method. According to several previous studies, the SRI method is able to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and can increase productivity. Handling climate change can actually be done in a simple way that is familiar with our daily lives. Like plant a tree, the first way to deal with the climate change is to plant trees. You can plant trees in your yard or put small plants on the terrace. During photosynthesis, trees and other plants absorb carbon dioxide and give off oxygen. Plants are an integral part of the natural atmospheric exchange cycle. Some plants can also counter the increase in carbon dioxide caused by car traffic, manufacturing, and other human activities. Then we can invite others to preserve the environment. The next way to deal with the climate change is to invite to the environmental conservation. The easiest way is to share information about recycling and energy conservation with friends, neighbors, and co-workers. Set a good example for environmental conservation with the habits you do. You can also participate in a community of environmentalists. We also can reduce reuse, recycle is a simple step as way to deal with other climate change. Reduce is the activity of using packaged products, especially plastic, to a minimum. This step will also help reduce wastage. Reduce can also be done by buying products that can be reused instead of single-use ones. Reuse is the step of reusing used objects such as plastic bags or plastic bottles, while recycle is an activity to recycle unused items into useful again. You can recycle paper, plastic, newspaper, glass cans, and other waste into something useful. Lastly, you can tackle climate change by reducing the use of private motorized vehicles, which means less emissions. In addition to saving gas, walking and cycling are healthy forms of exercise. You can also use public transportation to use vehicles together. If forced to drive, make sure the car or motorcycle runs efficiently. For example, keeping tires properly inflated can increase uh, mileage by more than 3%. Adaptation efforts that can be made by farmers to deal with climate change include like obtain knowledge and information related to climate change, early warning, and climate information systems. Adjusting the plant calendar and the type of commodity to be planted, select and develop types and varieties of plants that are resistant to climate change, including drought resistant, puddle resistant, and resistant to brackish water. Applying water-saving technologies, intermittent irrigation system, and efficient use of water such as drip irrigation and mulching. Planting more than one type of plant, or also we can call it intercropping. And then develop soil and plant management technology to increase plant adaptability. Develop a crop livestock system, or we also call it CLS, to reduce stress and optimize the use of land resource. Develop in a farming protection system from failure due to climate change or crop weather insurance. This adaptation effort is expected to overcome the threat of climate change to the agricultural sector, including crop failure, which results in decreasing productivity and environmental threats such as increased greenhouse gas emissions. In addition, there are also various causes of climate change that are influenced by other humans' action, such as like driving a car. Gasoline is one of the fossil fuels. Exhaust gas in cars also contains many other chemical gas pollutants. This is currently one of undeniable cause of climate change. And then garbage dump. When you throw food and garden waste into the trash, they are carried and buried in landfills. This is one of the causes of climate change. When the waste at bottom decomposes, methane gas is formed. Agriculture and animal husbandry. When farmers add the nitrogen fertilizer to the soil, some of that nitrogen turns into nitrous oxide, a very powerful greenhouse gas. Cows create methane gas when grass is fermented in their stomach. There are about 1.2 billion cattle in the world, all of which add to the levels of greenhouse gas that are causing climate change worldwide. Personally, I think the best way to deal with climate change is to use environmentally friendly energy source. The first global step to overcome climate change is to use renewable energy sources that are more environmentally friendly. Until now, many houses and apartments in big cities have begun to rely on and install solar panels to reduce the use and load of electricity in their homes. Many large factories are also starting to divert the energy resource used in order to be more environmentally friendly and not produce excess gas emissions that are harmful to the environment. Thank you.